Omega.
Yes.
You know it's bad when we shows up randomly on an alumni section, right?
Being an alumni is something to be proud of.
Well, I mean, it is to an extent, but it means that you're no longer going to enjoy that. Especially when competition starts following you on Twitter, isn't that right?
Being on Twitter is nothing to be proud of.
Well, let's put it this way. Josh Matthews, you're a traitor. TNT, Josh Matthews. Is that Matthew, Josh? It bags out, selfish prick. Let's start the show. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 125 of wooo. I'm Gunner, that's Omega BR.
No, thank you.
Joining us this week is our wonderful technical producer, Mr. Yes.
If it's broken, you've got no one to blame but yourself.
That's why we love you for everything. Well, what's up in this next night? Joining us this week as a guest is Matt Chester.
So if your only addiction is competition and you don't compete anymore, what are you addicted to now?
Painkillers. That's the answer to that question. Also joining us this week, you didn't expect that one, did you? The swerves. It's the one, the only swerve. No, it's Fasten.
Oh god, when you guys said alumni, I thought you were talking about me for a second.
Alright, let's start the show. Let's start with some news. A full medical exam reveals issues between O'Brien's neck and shoulders that may require full shoulder surgery. As a result, WWE told from all plank a more definitive word is heard. CM Punk's contract officially expires on Thursday, and while WWE can report an extension of the Mysterio, they likely won't, as it doesn't do the other side much good. His profile is moved to the alumni section as of today, and Punk is co-hosting the red carpet pre-show of AXS TV's first alternative music awards on the 21st. He also teased starting a band and a podcast on Twitter. Meanwhile, Renee Young from the Superstars commentary has many thinking she'll eventually make it to the desk on SmackDown and potentially even Raw. Should she stay with the WWE and not be enticed away from ESPN, which was rumored earlier in the year? So, just important point off of that list. I do not want Renee Young out of the WWE, period.
Yeah. I think she does a pretty good job. She seems to be enthusiastic. Like looking at that segment on Raw Flair. That would be kind of wild, wouldn't it? Having a female on the announcers and the main announcers. That has never really happened.
Special guest star, I can't think of a major wrestling promotion where that's ever happened.
Yeah. I mean, you've had female referees and female announcers. I can't remember a regular female person on the day. Even like in OVW or NXT, FCW, or anything like that. I can't really.
Anything smaller, I really can't think of. I can't think of a female announcer who's a consistent announcer.
I'm sure there's somebody we're forgetting, but maybe it happened in TNA at one point. I don't know.
Maybe for the weird, like, whatchamacallit, main event mafia thing or something like that. But anyway, so Punk's doing other things.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm not sure if we'll ever see him back in any wrestling ring, much less a WWE one, but I hope he's happy in his future endeavors. Sorry, had to.
Well, he sent out another tweet recently today. Said something like, no thank you for all your love and support over the years. Never give... Well, he didn't say never give up, but he said something, I'll have to go find it, something about dreams, I think. Anyway, it was basically sort of an affirmation that, yes, he is sort of gone from the company, and this is sort of his word. Because, before that I was going to say, he doesn't necessarily owe anything to anybody, but I think a definitive word to say, yeah, I'm gone, is I think would at least be proper, which I guess he's now done. Perhaps bands and podcasts and things, you don't think we'll see him in any independent facilities?
God, I
Maybe
hope
as
so.
like a special guest, on maybe ROH just because. But I really don't think that he'd show up there.
I got an idea.
Yeah,
PWG 12 next year.
What if he just shows up for Bola?
Oh God.
Just shows up. Not
Battle of
not
Los Angeles.
Just shows up.
I was going to say King of Trios.
That was going to be a little term here too, because you doesn't get a little Quackenbush and whatnot.
Yeah,
but it'd be interesting.
No, I can't see that at all. Not the quack.
Well,
And the thing we're not talking about here is Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Well, I kind of don't want to talk about it because I kind of want to forget that it's happening and say, he's going to be all right, and he doesn't really need surgery.
Royal Rumble return. Calling it right now.
I hope so, but if they're going to do that, they better get on their horse and start riding right now.
Time will tell. Speaking of which, TNA officially announced the British Boot Camp Program number 2. Although this time around, Samoa Joe, Gail Kim, and Al Snow will be judges. They also continue to be hot on the trail of Ring of Honor stars, particularly the Red Dragon tag team, and with ROH on such a tight budget from Sinclair Broadcasting, a bidding war for talents would be highly unlikely. The June 6th Wrestle 1 show at Sumo Hall with Great Muta, Tajiri, and several TNA stars only drew about 4,800 people, which was considered pretty bad, while WWE's recent show at the same venue drew 6,200. There's some rumors going around this past week that some WWE employees were on a plane with Kurt Angle and they took photos of him, apparently passed out, though Angle responded saying he was simply taking a nap. He also stated on the Ross Report podcast that he hasn't re-signed with TNA yet because he's weighing his options, and he will likely be ring-ready again in October as he feels his in-ring career is slowly winding down, and seemed to hint that he would be retiring in WWE.
Is slowly winding down now code for nose down, headed for the ground down Mark 5.
Well, he's older now. He's has a stable marriage, as far as I know. He's he'll go as long as he can go, but he can't. When you're injured, and you can't just hop off the operating table and then get right back to it. And I think he's understanding that.
Well, yeah.
When it comes to the WWE for a small bit, what do you guys think would be a logical opponent for him?
Obviously, Jack Swagger.
This is a very interesting point in the WWE because he's been gone so long that the majority of the people that he has worked with before are gone.
I was going to say Daniel Bryan, but yeah.
Swagger.
Again, logic, WWE, pick one.
No, you put him against
See,
Swagger.
with Swagger.
Swagger would be
It
good.
makes total sense. You've got the All-American American and the Olympic gold medalist battling it out to see who's the best.
To see who's more American.
Well,
Who
yeah,
is
probably.
the uber American?
And then all of a sudden, Mr. America comes out of nowhere with a chair and
Yes.
a strap, and he like drops them both. Does the Hogan pose? Says, "I swear to God, I'm not Hogan."
When again,
I was crashing down, and it hurts inside.
Well, no, that's true. All right, moving on. Subscriptions priority one with 1.4 million monthly worldwide needed to break even. It would take around 2 million to put them in the position of financial, success. Anything less than 85,000 during the next announcement at the end of the month won't look good. And money continues to be a source of frustration amongst talents between the new fines for dress and targets and now deeply cut royalty checks. The first quarter checks, which include video game royalties, were down from the usual 70,000 to just under 12,000. And most of the stuff is only received $1,555 for the second quarter checks. As budget cuts continue, WWE is considering scaling back first-class travel and backstage catering. So, WWE downsized it because of the network. Alright, I'm going to say this much. The WWE Network is a very smart investment for their future. I'm not saying that right now it's the most perfect thing on the planet. As a matter of fact, it's pretty crappy, if you ask me. The service is fine. It's serviceable. It's something that you could put out there and sell to people. However, the fact that you have every WWE, TNA, everybody WWE, WCW, and ECW pay-per-view on there is just fine and dandy, but they have hundreds of thousands of hours of other television that they could put up. And I want to see more of that. That's why I would pay for the WWE Network. That's why I haven't bought the WWE Network as of today. And besides the fact that they're doing this weird thing where they're doing, $60 for a 6-month subscription. And I understand that you're only doing, it's only $10 a month, but seriously, I don't want to be committed for 6 months. I want to be committed for a less amount of time, which is why I've been waiting. However, this royalty check thing seems to be kind of, crappy, especially for the guys who are who are underneath, who aren't making as much as the top guys.
Crappy. This is out scary. I mean it. I think the WWE Network is really gouging into the company, and if it starts not only hurting performers, but behind the scenes people, technical people, even people working in Titan Tower for payroll and clerical and shit like that, I mean, this is a frightening thing. Could the WWE Network be the death of the WWE?
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Shane's gonna have to bail out Vince.
Under the worst case scenario, it could put a huge dent in WWE. I don't know about kill. And the thing of it is, they still have the international market to get to, which, surely they'll get a nice big chunk. In my mind, the real problem is, if you're gonna base this network off of pay-per-views, which is really what you're doing, because you're gutting the pay-per-view market, you have to make the pay-per-views worthwhile. I mean, people who weren't going to pay, it's technically 10 compared to 60, but still, that's money, and we're in a, people don't necessarily want to spend it. So, and then you have a show like Money in the Bank, which was very much a 2-match show, and people just don't really see the value quite as much, Now, to their credit, they've been trying a little bit harder. Battleground has 8 decent matches, I think, stacked up, but overall, it all comes down to the creative. They can cut and script here and there, but overall, they need to have a stronger product.
I just hope that they don't get scared and do something dumb like shut this whole project down when there's still so
Well, I
much
think they're
they
too
can
invested to do that, even if they wanted to. Plus the fact that, in my mind, you should really be putting more funds into things like Legends House, because that's what's going to get people to buy the thing. Not talk about can and everything.
Exactly what I would say with that. It's you gotta if they're in balls deep, you might as well go a little farther.
Anyway, as you probably saw on Monday night, Sting was announced for the WWE 2K15 video game, and he actually told Gear.co.uk that he wants one last hurrah, one last match, and has been outspoken about it, being with The Undertaker, hoping that Taker would want to do it. And he suggested San Francisco next year for such a match. High Spots was able to book a local hotel and a convention in the San Jose area, as did the WWN live crew. Ring of Honor still undecided about coming in, of course. WWE was attempting to lock out independent groups this year around WrestleMania, and some of them may end up in some of the more rural areas of the city. It's looking more and more like The Rock won't be able to do WrestleMania because of the worldwide promotion of Fast 7. The Houston Astrodome, which was host of WrestleMania X7, may actually be demolished and replaced with a green space at Hall of Fame. And Ronda Rousey won't be appearing at SummerSlam because Dana White doesn't want any UFC fighters appearing on WWE programming. Word is WWE only wanted her rather than her whole four-horsewoman group, and as long as we're talking about UFC. Rashad Evans, currently recovering from major knee surgery, apparently inquired about a job with WWE possibly sometime in the future.
Let me tell you something about that Ronda Rousey. I'm going to stop you right there. Ronda Rousey, if you guys haven't been paying attention to UFC, which I think some of you haven't, Ronda Rousey is the baddest woman on the planet, apparently. What she did to her opponent, it was over the July 4th weekend, was literally this: knee to the gut, headlock, judo throw takeover 360 degrees over the body into like this headlock thing that she had going on, pinned under her weight, and 10 punches to the face. GG. Came over. She was out like a light. That's the kind of woman this is.
That's a bad bitch.
I need to look up that fight.
It was over in literally 16 seconds.
Faster.
Like shame. Like Dana Bryan lasted longer. I'm just saying.
Oh Jesus.
Can't bring her into WWE. She'll be the Brock Lesnar of
I would be fine with
She would
that.
murder them.
I would be fine with her coming in and being the Brock Lesnar of the Divas division.
That'd be fun to
long-
watch.
At least the Divas division would have
The Bellas are first.
It would be entertaining.
Nikki Bella first.
It's more than you could say for what they're doing with the Divas division now.
So,
Ends up popping one of the Bellas implants.
do you want to see Sting at WrestleMania?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't care if it sucks. I still want to see Sting.
I know the whole streak thing's been over with. It might actually be more plausible that this might happen. In my eyes.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, the whole idea of Sting possibly beating, you don't have that stigma of, will the streak end or whatever. Do they need like a big time match? That whole idea of, should they end the streak by putting a young guy over or whatever? It's kind of done now. So, and plus, Taker is probably winding down himself. So now might be the time to do it.
Taker probably should have wound down a couple of years ago, to be honest.
If we're gonna make this the end of two careers, then let them fight against each other. I want to see that match.
Right, but I want to see it as a shoot fight.
Because Yank
Yes.
was a masochist. I would watch NetJester if he had a sex tape.
No, I would not watch that.
What makes you think I don't?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tell me you
Oh
don't
my
want to
God.
see The Undertaker and Sting in a shoot fight in the ring.
No thanks, not now. Maybe 20 years ago, but not now. I would like to see that match, though. Rashad Evans would be a good voice for the WWE because he actually has promo skills. Bye-bye Houston Astrodome. And I won't be surprised if The Rock doesn't compete again until WrestleMania 32. With Santino out of in-ring action... Oh, by the way, this is the last little news bit. With Santino out of in-ring action permanently, Adam Rose might be in line to be the next go-to comedy character. Linda McMahon recently gave a $1 million gift to the Greenwich Hospital in Connecticut to purchase 3D mammography machines for early cancer detection. Masahiro Chono has signed a deal with the WWE that allows him to sell NWO shirts in Japan. Shannon Moore noted on Twitter that his in-ring career is about over, which is sad because goodbye, Shannon Moore. The Outer Limits of Inner Truth radio show featured an introspective on Mick Foley with astrologists and psychic mediums claiming he was a woman who was abused in the early 1900s and that Daniel Bryan was actually his son in a said lifetime? Okay, that's the swerviest thing I've heard all day.
I just want to know why that is in our news read here, because that is not news. That is bullshit.
That is hilarious.
That sounds like something Vince Russo wrote for a storyline, for God's sake.
I bet Vince Russo did write that for a storyline, and that's one of the things that Vince was like, no.
It's like, Vince Russo, you're crazy. Get out.
Surprising. It's yeah.
Sorry to hear Shannon Moore go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not too bad. Moore was in 3 Count, wasn't he? Because I heard they're doing a 3 Count reunion at Indie Show.
Oh, Gunner's all about that.
Hell yes.
Gunner's still holding out for a mall tour. Vassar's the only one that remembers mall tours, and now I'm sad.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm too young for them, too.
All right, guys. Shall we get to this 15-minute time limit?
If we have to.
All right, time for the 15-minute time limit. And as Battleground is on Sunday, we will be doing our predictions per the usual for each match. If you would like to follow along with our predictions, you can go to 4down.org and check us out check out there, because you can enter your predictions and we'll be giving them in on that format. So here we go. So in the blood feud of the year, Naomi versus Cameron in the pre-show.
No fucks given. Although I will say, it's about time that they broke those two up, so that the more talented of the duo can finally get a chance to shine. I'm just kidding, she won't get a chance to shine. It's the Divas division.
If I really believed that they were, kind of pushing this feud and everything, despite the Total Divas deal, I might say Cameron wins by, grabbing the tights or spraying her with hairspray or something, but they already used Cameron as villain number 2 on Raw against Nikki Bella, so I don't really think that. I'll probably say Naomi.
Nobody does that anymore. They should do that more often. Random things to use as weapons. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's alright. I've got Naomi to win. And then Cameron to fade off into obscurity and finally be released next year in spring cleaning. Please,
I'm calling it this time next year. In our Happy Trails segment, we will still be saying Cameron still employed.
Next JD.
She's not going anywhere with that ass and them boobs.
Nice. How about an interesting feud? Surprisingly, Jack Swagger versus Rusev.
Surprisingly, are you kidding me? This is the most American feud in the possible world. Like I said, Captain America and Mr. America are going to combine forces, and they're going to leg drop Rusev and pile drive him from the heavens because he is Russian and evil.
Okay, but what's surprising is Jack Swagger actually getting a face push. That the real Americans that were these heel team, and now down pretty much to just heel one person, is now a bona fide hit because they're pushing against an old school bad guy like Mr. Foreign Man. So, wow.
What's weird to me is that it's working so well for Rusev, but Kozlov never. Nobody was really all that ever interested in Kozlov.
Why Kozlov? They were into Kozlov?
I don't know. Kozlov was fucking fantastic.
He became an American. That's why. He was converted and then became boring and was released. Kind of like, pretty ironic that 6 months after he gets his United States citizenship, he gets released, pretty much. But he also didn't have one thing, and that's a great set of tits.
That's true. All right, let's move it along because we don't want to run out of time here. We got Chris Jericho versus
Bray Wyatt. Yep.
Go ahead.
Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. Wyatt for the win, dirty, with the family involvement.
Oh, of course.
That's pretty much a given. Yeah.
I would buy Wyatt clean, to be honest, because that's kind of Jericho's thing now. He comes back and kind of gets in these mini feuds and puts the other guy over, and then that's kind of it.
So this is I have to ask this in all forthrightness. This is the reason that Jericho is feuding with Bray. I was confused as hell about why they appeared in the ring Jericho's first night back, but it's just so Jericho can get him over. That's just it. There's no other logical reason to be feuding with my favorite semi-evil cartoon rabbit.
No, there's not. Jericho was there. That is the Wyatt family's motivation.
Okay.
Now they could do more with it because of who Jericho the character is and his personality and the way he interacts with the crowd. I'm sure Bray Wyatt could have all kinds of fun calling him a hypocrite and gelatinous tapeworm, so on and so forth. But I don't think we really need all that. There's two guys that are going to fight. I want to know who's going to win.
This is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Moving on. We have Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. Former Shield members colliding.
Rollins for the win.
Hold on for 2 seconds.
No, we don't have time for that. 15-minute time limit.
Ambrose!
Well, is this match going to happen?
You think Ambrose is going to go over faster?
Moxley.
No.
Yes.
Rollins dirty.
That's what I'm saying.
Ambrose comes back at the end of the night to prevent a cash-in.
Ooh.
That sounds...
We'll see if this match actually happens.
If not, Ambrose for the win with something cheap and nice, because we've been picking the heels to win all night, except for Swagger, I guess.
Yeah, actually.
AJ versus Paige for the Divas Championship.
AJ.
Start it
Really?
up.
Oh my god. Never again. Please,
Yes,
never
sir.
again.
Oh
my god. AJ for the win.
That's
Clean.
what I said.
Yeah, AJ for the win. Some kind of shenanigans, but not illegal shenanigans. If that makes sense.
I'm calling the non-lesbian version of the Mickie James versus Trish Stratus angle.
You mean Paige is going to start stalking AJ?
Yes.
Oh God, my balls.
Alright, and then we'll move on here to the Usos versus the other Wyatt family for the Tag Team Championships. For the 2 out of 3 falls match, which will take a while. I have the Wyatt family winning. No, I don't. What am I saying? The Usos will win.
Usos will win, probably. Like Usos will get the first pin. Wyatt family gets the second pin. Usos get a quick third.
Yep.
I have absolutely no idea on this one.
Can we just real quickly, everyone agree that a 2 out of 3 tag match is not like a good idea?
This match is probably going. Actually, I'm gonna call shenanigans, and like the ref's gonna get knocked out or some and like the match is gonna be called early.
Not for these two teams. It's not a good idea. No.
No, the match won't be called early. It'll even up quickly with a disqualification, and then whatchamacallit, and then the Usos will go over because they're hard champions, and the Wyatt family provides a good opponent, Wyatt won't be there. All right, how much time we got left?
Oh, I
I
thought
got
you.
6 minutes.
All right.
All right, here we go. Battle Royal for the vacant Intercontinental Championship. I have all my money on Zack Ryder.
Well, tell me everywhere you've been.
I don't even know who all is in this, aside from what's his name?
Slater.
I know Rusev. No, I thought.
Here, hold on, I'll tell you for a sec. I'll tell you. Alberto Del Rio, Big E, Bo Dallas, Cesaro, Curtis Axel, Diego, Dolph Ziggler, Fandango, Heath Slater, Kofi Kingston, Rob Van Dam, R-Truth, Ryback, Sheamus, Sin Cara, Great Khali, The Miz, Titus O'Neil, Xavier Woods, and Zack Ryder.
The only
my money on Bo Dallas.
The only people in there I care about are Dolph Ziggler, Xavier Woods, and to slightly lesser effect Bo Dallas. So none of those people are going to win because they're good.
Well, I think Cesaro is definitely the favorite. It was really kind of bizarre that they just sort of said, well, I guess Cesaro fired Heyman, but, I guess they have that whole thing for SummerSlam coming up. That Cesaro can kind of stake a claim on his own as Intercontinental Champion.
I read a post recently that basically said, what's going to happen here is Cesaro's going to win the Intercontinental Championship, and Brock will win the World Heavyweight Championship, and for months and months and months, my client Brock Lesnar and my client Antonio Cesaro will walk away with the championships because I manage not one but 2 champions. I am the manager of champions.
Gunner, quickly, I'm sorry, but I have to know, why does your Paul Heyman impression sound like a very drunk Sean Connery?
I can't really do Paul Heyman.
Yeah, so let's just go to the title match.
All right.
Can we? Because you're killing me.
Cena wins alone. Cena
wins. And then
is there any other discussion?
And then
Roman.
Yeah, no.
Early for Roman.
Yes.
Too early for him
It's
all the
not
time.
too early.
It is too early for Roman because Cena is still alive.
Listen, we all
we're
know.
gonna have to wait. So to get good storylines, we're going to have to wait for Vince to die, and to get the title away from Cena, we're going to have to wait for him to die.
Well, unless one of you is willing to do something drastic. And I'm not going to encourage our listeners to murder a man, because that would be wrong. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't fault you.
Remember,
with the time we
Cena
have
got
left, how
stabbed
about
once.
this? How about this? We all kind of know that Cena's winning, so do you think there will be a cash-in attempt, and if so, do you think it will be successful? Because I could see Rollins trying to cash in and then failing.
Yeah, I think they're going to do the Rollins cashing in or trying to cash in, but Ambrose interrupting before he can get the match going, happening at least a couple more times. We've still got quite a bit to WrestleMania when that thing expires, so there's no reason not to.
Well, it doesn't expire until Money in the Bank next year.
Oh, well, yeah, there's no reason. They can milk the shit out of that.
Yeah. It's just, I guess my feeling is, now that they only have the one title, this whole picture that, we talked about how they've kind of supposedly mapped out the rest of the year and all that good stuff. So I kind of don't see where, unless they really are planning to wait a year, I kind of don't see where Rollins fits in with that whole thing. I kind of, you know what I mean? Like, like I honestly, I really couldn't see
agree.
that.
Yeah,
I'd like to see Rollins start acting like Edge when he had the Money in the Bank.
Oh, if you think that he's not going to be an Edge clone, you know, to a certain extent, then you'd be sadly mistaken. Rollins will hold on to that championship belt well into next year. I'm going to say even after WrestleMania. Maybe the night after WrestleMania. I don't know. But Mr. Money in the Bank has a long time to go.
Absolutely.
Yep.
How are we doing on time, NJ?
We got a minute 22 seconds.
Alright, so in this minute and 22 seconds, can somebody explain to me what the deal with AJ and Paige is? Can I just get a shorthand? Because apparently they're friends now or something.
Last night was weird.
Okay, so this is how it works, right? Thank you, fuck you. This thank you and politeness is fuck you in any other language. Basically what they're doing is, well, guess what? Hey, you're awesome and pretty and nice and you have my belt and fuck off, you fucking skanky hoe. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So in other words, we're saying that Jerry the King Lawler was right and all women secretly hate each other. Oh God, I can't handle that.
No, they don't hate each other. The point is that, like I said before, it's going to be a feud between the two of them, and and the idea is that it's the anti-feud. It's the we're just gonna be so nice, and you're so good, ha ha ha. You're so good, ha ha ha. Oh wow, you look so pretty, and fuck you, bitch. Really, I mean that's what they go back. It's when you turn around and they say, fuck you, bitch.
And we are done.
I just hope I get some HLA out of this whole thing.
You won't. So that's it for the 15-minute time limit. Yankum, what are we going out to?
We Gunner. We are going to go out to one of my favorite things ever. And that is... Stop. We are going to go out to the Ultimate Warriors theme music. How's that?
Wouldn't that be monetized and kill your revenue stream?
Well, none of this is monetized. I just pay all this out of my pocket. There is no revenue. I do this because I love it, not because it makes me money.
Sure.
So here we go. Here's the Warriors theme music. We'll be right back.